Unfortunately, didn't get it on camera, but 2 pigeons just scared the crap out of me again on the walk over here. I'm looking for them and I don't see them sometimes. So, you saw the title, how many winning players can poker support? So, we talk about it sometimes at the table or away from the table, like what percent of people who play poker are winning players. And I think it's an incredibly low number, like 1%. I've heard estimates as high as 50%, there's no way it's that high. I could understand if it's like between 3 and 10%. I know Lyman says it's about 1. I think Trooper says about 3. I've heard anywhere between 1 and 50. Here's the thing. You could look at poker 2 ways. One is you can call it a zero-sum game. Every dollar won needs to be lost by someone. But if you do that, you need to include even the people who are not playing hands. You need to include the casino, who is making money via the rake, the waitresses, who are getting chips off the table via tips, the dealers, who are getting tipped, the food runners, everyone you can think of who is getting chips from players at the table. If you think about it like that, it's a zero-sum game. If you think about just the people being dealt in, just the players, then it's less than a zero-sum game. If you had 10 people at a table, or whatever, 9 people play at a table all day, and then it's over, and you ask everyone how much did you win or lose, that number, when you combine all 9 figures, is going to be a negative number, because there's going to be a lot of money that the casino took in rake and the dealers got tipped, etc. So then it would be less than a zero-sum game. So let's think about it as a zero-sum game. I'll make some room over here. I count rake at the table. When I did last time in Vegas, it was about $175 per hour we paid in rake. So the casino is taking about is playing in this game, but a guaranteed winner, winning about $175 per hour. Then the dealers, I count that also, they're getting about $35 an hour in tips. Then the waitresses, I was trying to think per table, I came up with 15, 2, 3, 4 rounds in an hour. And you know, not the whole table gets drinks, so I think 15 an hour per table. And then I said $2 each for chip runner, food runner, massage girl, and floor. They don't get tipped a lot. Some places don't even have that, but even when it's available, it's not a large number. So I did $2 per hour for each of those. So if you add all that up, that's $233 per hour at a single table being won by people or entities not even dealt in to the hands. So there's the negative. If a group of players played for an hour and you asked each at the end of the hour, how much did you win or lose? How much did you win or lose? And you went around the table, just the players, the number would be about negative 233, because where's the other 233 coming from? The house made money, the dealer made money, the waitress made money, etc. So it's a zero-sum game in that way. So think about one table. If someone said, oh, I think 30% of players are winning players, think about one table. So I just said all the people not dealt into the hands are making around $233 per hour. Then if you think around 30% of people, like 3 people at a 10-handed table, not that 10-handed tables really exist anymore, but 3 people are winning. How much are they winning in a 1-3 game? I don't know. I bet the people who have these large estimates also have large estimates for how much people win. And let's say each winning player makes around $15 per hour. So that's $45 an hour being won by the winning players at the table, $233 an hour being won by everyone not even dealt in to the hands. So that's 45 plus 233, $278 needs to be lost by the losing players combined. So that's 7 losing players need to combine to lose $278 per hour. So 278 divided by 7, and it's about 40. So each of those losing players needs to be losing about $40 per hour in order to fund the rake and the waitress tips and the dealer tips and the winning players. Is that what, you know, the average losing player loses at 1-3? Do people play for years on end losing $40 an hour? I don't know. I guess some don't have a problem with it. Some definitely would, and if they were losing that much, would just stop playing forever. I don't know, but that seems like a high number, although I'm not the best person to ask because I'm not a losing player, so I don't know what people would be able to deal with, although there are plenty of people who wouldn't even realize they're losing that much because they don't keep track. It's most people who play poker don't keep track, but I think it's more like 1% of people make money. So now think of 10 tables with 10 players each. So there's 100 people playing. Each table, the house, the dealers, the waitresses, etc., are making $233 per hour. So 233 times 10 is $2,330 per hour being won by the guaranteed winners in this game at the 10 tables combined. And now just say 1 out of those 100 players is a winning player who makes around $15 an hour at 1-3. So 2,330 plus 15 is $2,345. $2,345 being won needs to be lost by the 99 losing players. So 2,345 divided by 99 is about 23. So I think that's a lot more reasonable, that losing players at 1-3 lose around $23 per hour, and that's enough to fund, you know, the house, the waitresses, the floor, the dealers, etc., and 1 winning player out of 100. So I don't know, leave in the comments what you think the number is. What percent of people who play poker win? I think it's incredibly small, just because if the higher the number gets, when you think about the guaranteed winners in this game, it just needs to be like an incredibly large number that the losing players need to be losing to fund all of this. And without putting more math on the screen, I also did it for what if 50% of people are winning players? How much do the losing players need to lose to fund everything? And that would mean if like half of the 1-3 player pool in the country are winning players making $15 an hour, not that everyone makes 15, but if the average is, that means the losing players would each need to lose about $60 per hour. I guess some people are losing that much, and it's really not insane, I guess. If you think about other hobbies, you know, if you golfed as a hobby, how much are you paying per hour? Well, it's tough to think about, you know, the equipment, but if you just think about the greens fees and the cart, I mean, there are people every time they play around spend like between $50 and $75. So take $60 divided by a 4-hour round. I mean, they're paying like $15 an hour before we get into the equipment. So some amount more than that, I don't know, $25 per hour. It's like, if you view it as a hobby and you know you're a losing player, it's not like ridiculous. Like, there can be people who like are aware and happily lose $20 per hour playing poker, and it's just something they want to do, and they could afford it and they enjoy it. And you know, on the winning days they're very happy, and the perks that come from comps and things like that, they enjoy it. And all right, you know, that's allowed. It's just, I don't know, to think that all losing players in poker just at the 1-3 level average like -$40 or -$60 per hour seems like a pretty high number to me. I don't know that people would play for years on end if that was their hourly, -$40 to -$60. That's why I think it's more like 1% of people are winning players. So there's a lot more players in the player pool who are funding the winning. And whatever the number is being won by entities and employees and winning poker players, that number is divided by, you know, a much larger number. There are many more losing players, like 99% of the player pool is losing players. That's what I think. So I can see people lose like $23 per hour over a very long time. I have trouble thinking people would continue to play for years on end if they were losing $60 an hour, but I don't know, maybe they are.